What is going on, everybody? This is my final video for this particular recording session. I think that makes 5, but again, I got a lot of stuff and I'm just trying to get it all uploaded, and doing multiple shoes in one video, I feel like I mean I wouldn't really want to watch that, so I didn't do it like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe people are into that, maybe it would have saved some time, I don't know. But anyways, this right here, it's a box that maybe most people aren't as familiar with as the other things I did. You know, just looking at the stack here, this is the 5th one. Each one of these was something totally different. That's good. You gotta have variety. So this right here, it's almost like in some ways, I guess, like the off-white style, where it's just got a bunch of words on there and all that. But let's get into it, shall we? So this, well, actually, give me a second. So this right here, right? Every year I like to get like a pair of winter-ish shoes, you know, for the elements, for the inclement weather and all that stuff. This year, though, I didn't see any of like the Air Max release, like the normal like 90s or 1s, which is usually what I'll go with. Even last year, I had those 97s that I wanted but waited too long to get, and then they sold out of my size. But this year I was ready, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to buy them as soon as I see them, you know, that whole waiting on the discount thing. And then that didn't happen. But I did see these pop up later, which are pretty similar as far as like a replacement or an alternate or a substitution would go. So I went with them, and this is not my first pair. My first pair was the same thing, but in some kind of olive color. Anyways, this right here, let's get this box open. This color right here is definitely a fan of it. So this is the Nike Vapormax Run Utility. Did I get that right? Yes. Vapormax Run Utility. So normally the utility shoes, I always think like, are they for like some kind of rugged sort of thing, like some like trails and stuff like that, like those all-terrain Ultra Boosts or something. But these are actually more just for like I guess nighttime running, for one, because you can't see it, but they've got some extra reflectivity here on the fly wire and on the laces as well. This is also reflective here, where it's that little area there on the side where it says Nike Run Utility Model Vapormax 360-degree reflectivity and water repellency. See, I bought a pair of these and I wore them on my recent trip back home to Iowa, which is where I'm from, and got a lot of compliments actually. I wore them because I figured it'd be raining or snowing and they would kind of help with keeping my feet a little dry, because my other pair of shoes that I took with me was a pair of Air Max Pluses. Not the best if the weather takes a weird turn. So I took a pair of these with me, got a lot of compliments, really liked them as I wore them, and so as I, and maybe you do, when you find a pair of shoes you like, you get another color. So this right here, this color, as the box says, light silver, metallic dark gray. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Sometimes the color names are a little weird, but this one, yeah, I'll go with it. So down here around this section, I never remember the names of the different parts of the shoe, but this is kind of like a cloth, sort of, not quite wool, but something nice though. I guess to kind of help with a little bit of insulation or whatever. And then up on the top, this kind of feels like a nylon or neoprene. Kind of feels like a neoprene up here, where for the water repellency. So if you got those 12s that came out a few years ago, it kind of feels like that, but not as solid. Because at the end of the day, these are still a running shoe. It's just made for running in a different environment, so to speak, or at least a different weather. The fit on these, I went with a 9, because for one, it's all that was left, but because I had gone with a 9 on my previous ones. And so I'm thinking I might try a 9.5 because they do fit a lot like the Vapormaxes. But the reason I went with the lower size was, for one, I was not thinking clearly when I bought these and forgot that the Vapormaxes do run a little slim. But it still was a fine fit. It was just my toe was a little closer to the edge than I want. But as I wore them for after that first like 2 days or so, the fit felt better. So later on, I'm gonna get a 9.5 in a different colorway there and see how those feel, and just kind of do a little comparison. Because why not, right? Third pair never hurt anybody. But then again, maybe that mentality is why I have a million pairs of shoes sitting in my living room right now. Anyways, this I would definitely suggest it if you're in an area like say like the Seattle area maybe where it rains a lot, but you still want to get out there and run, or if it's just like because it is just the winter time and pretty much everywhere right now, if there's a little more precipitation going on in your weather forecast, these are a pretty worthwhile addition to that collection. They'll keep your feet pretty warm, keep the water off, and they're good for running. I've seen the Ultra Boost utilities, and they just looked bad to me. But that's just a personal opinion. So again, when I wanted a pair of winter shoes for the year, this is what I went with. So let me know what you guys think. I'm curious, like for running more so in the outdoors and in times like of the bad weather and everything. What do you go with? Because I'm up for suggestions. You know what I mean? I'm willing to try whatever. If there's something else that's better than this, which I mean I'm sure there is. I'm not saying this is the thing to get. It's just my suggestion because it works for me. But if you have something else, let me know because I'm always up for trying some new shoes out. All right. So yeah, throw your comments down below or keep them to yourself. Can't tell you what to do. It's your life. Live it how you live it. But one thing I can say is that I will be back later with more videos. Not today though, because this was the last one. This was 5 out of 5. So hopefully you watched the other ones. If you didn't, they are still available. Go on back and check them out. All right. I'll see you guys around, I hope.